without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us by and by.
In Milwaukee. My name is Linda. I'm one of the prayer chaplains, and I will be available at the end of service if you would like to just sit and have a few quiet minutes together. I'll be over to my left. And now we're just going to invite people to sit down and settle in, and we'll read this wonderful daily word for today at the start of a week of heat and who knows what else. I share a connection to all living things. I share a connection with the human family, the world's creatures, and the universe itself. I am reminded of the words of astronomer Carl Sagan, who wrote, "The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to know self. I affirm this cosmic connection and more. I feel I am part of everything and connected with everyone through the indwelling presence that unites us in God. When the world feels lonely and I'm struggling to find my place in it, I remember this cosmic connection and that despite our surface differences, we have much in common. I value my connection with others and seek to make new ones. I treasure these relationships and celebrate our oneness in God." And from Thessalonians, "Therefore, encourage one another and build up each other, as indeed you are doing." And now we're going to stand and do the opening song, and I'm just going to walk over to where the musicians are and join them. So welcome, everybody.
We'll play through it once. This is a unity hymn, actually, Wings of Song. So we'll listen through it once.
Just had a little water spillage. Feeling that cosmic connection. There we go.
There you go. You're one with the water. Yeah, you sing better when you stand. At least I do.
So we'll give you if you don't know this hymn from the Unity Wings of Song, you'll hear the melody going through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go, to the top.
Only believe,
All things are
possible.
only believe.
Only believe, only believe. All things are possible. Only believe.
One more time.
Only believe, only believe.
All things
Are possible. Only believe, only believe, only believe. All things are possible. Only believe.
Wow, that's a great song. At Unity of Oak Park, when Richard Billings was alive and well and kicking, and he used to make us sing that a lot because he said, all we have to do is only believe. Well, good morning, everybody. Are you believing? Okay, and everybody in Media Land, are you believing today? You should, and every day we should, right? We're working on our belief system. So let us affirm together what unity teaches and say that we believe in. Number one, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives, God the good. Number two, our essence is of God, therefore we are inherently good. This God essence was fully expressed in Jesus the Christ. Number three, we are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. Number four, through prayer and meditation, we find our God. Number five, through our thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truths we know. You notice how a little water can distract us? Have you noticed that? That's all it takes. It's just a little water. But anyways, we got it taken care of now. And this is our affirmation for our new church, you know. Our committee is pulled together, and Kathy Prime, she is a prime candidate, isn't she? And a prime person and a prime spiritual being, all right? She is leading the committee, and there are forms out in the on the table. If you like, if you find a location that you think the search team should investigate, fill it out and give it to her, okay? And she will bring it to the team. But meanwhile, our job is to affirm for our new church. So can we affirm together, please? We are divinely guided to the perfect new home for our church community. The right building and location are already being prepared. A place with peace, purpose, growth, and opportunity. Doors open with ease, resources align, and the right people come together at the right time. Our new space will be welcoming, impactful, and a blessing to everyone who enters. We move forward in faith, unity, and confidence, knowing that what is meant for us is finding us now. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, it really flows very nice. And now it is time for prayer request. And I don't know if you heard about this recently in Mundelein, that's where I live, is Mary Ellis Love was shot and killed by a police officer. And basically in her own home. And the family was calling because she had mental health issues. And she was having some challenges, and they just wanted, somebody to come and talk to her. A police officer came and ended up shooting her. Now and she is a black woman. And this is the second one in Mundelein. In Illinois, I'm sorry. And I would really like for us to pray for people that have mental health challenges. It's really important. And that the law officers, when they have a mental health call, that they approach it much differently than they do. We really need that. So, also, a few that came in over my phone and text message and email, I already have down, and they've been blessed by the holy water by Linda. And now we're ready to take other prayer requests. Kendall Christensen? All right. Anybody else? Yes, Ida.
For my grandson, Trayshawn, who has a real serious mental health condition.
Healing. Yes. Michelle.
Growth of our church,
Growth of the congregation.
the growth of our affirmation for our new church. Like, let's have 1,000 blessings on it.
Amen.
Angels pray for it, and pray for all of us. I mean, amen.
Pray for our congregation, the board, and all the committees. Anybody else? Yes.
For the people in the Congo who are being suppressed into slavery by capitalistic action.
Absolutely. Our whole political arena throughout the world it's just a mess.
Amen.
It's just a mess. Our own government, everything. And that all the Epstein pedophiles, that they are prosecuted. Anybody else? Yes, Kathy.
Prayers for Venezuela.
Venezuela. Okay. Anybody else? Well, Beth and Sue, they're off to the races again on another vacation. God bless them. They sure do enjoy life. Between vacation, cards, and church, they are just full of life, aren't they? So, and yes, Chris.
Thank God for answered prayers.
Thank you, Chris. You know, that's an excellent one. Gratitude for answered prayer. That's a powerful, yeah, that's a powerful prayer in itself. Anybody else? Okay. Yes, Denise. Janice. And I'm going to put down my puppy dog, who's 16, Rosie, that she just continues to be healthy and happy. Anybody else? Mother Earth. I just remember Mother Earth. We got to pray for Mother Earth. Okay. Anybody else with request? All right. Why don't we just take a deep breath in and center ourselves in our heart area. Because I truly believe when we're out of our minds, not crazy like, but when we remove ourselves from our thought patterns and move into our heart patterns, we are able to feel the power and the presence of God in such greater degrees. And I ask you, dear God, that all of these prayer requests be answered. May they be blessed. May our congregation be blessed. May they always be healthy and happy in every way, shape, and form. May they see you as their only source and supply. And I ask them for you to pour your mercy and grace upon them in every way, shape, and form. And amen.
Is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto thee.
Everybody just continue to breathe. Become mindful of where you are. in your mind and in your heart. Ask your mind and heart to be open to the divine wisdom and intelligence of the all-knowing God. And God, we humbly come before you this day because we are seeking an increased foundation in our faith, an activity of faith that is stronger than we've ever had before. A simple faith such as, God's got this, knowing that there is no reason to fear. God, we recognize that your presence is everywhere we go. We're dressed in your presence. We stand in your presence. And we are surrounded by your presence and your power. And affirm to yourself, I am filled with the faith of God. I use my faith in my daily life, knowing that you are with every step and every breath that I take, dear God. For there is nothing to fear, for you are always here. We ask for the increase of our awareness of your activity around us. For all the angels and archangels and ascended masters that you have assigned to us, may we become aware of their presence. We've come into this world, Lord, to know you more, to move through lessons that we need to learn, our soul needs to learn, to increase our consciousness of your divine presence, to know ourselves as the Christ. For the Christ in me is my hope of glory. The Christ in me shall never leave me desolate. The Christ in me will always find a way where I think there is no way. I surrender. I surrender to this Christ presence, knowing all is well. All is well. There is nothing greater in all the world and universes than the power of God, the power of the Spirit of God that is within me. I stand on this foundation of truth. And I asked to be set free of all fears, all concerns, all what ifs or could haves. I am free from that. For I am the light. I am the light. And so it is. Amen. 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 Good morning, everybody, again. I really like the story of David and Goliath. It's a powerful story. If I read it from the Bible, it's 2.5 pages long. So I found a summary of it. Okay? So, and it has the most valuable points in it. Okay? So I would like to share this story with you. There's 2 stories about David and Saul. And the first story is when David placed the harp to soothe the weary mind of Saul. Isn't that cool? A friend come along and just play some music for you to ease your burdens. Yeah. The second story about David, the giant killer, begins with the Israelites and the Philistines confronting each other already for a big battle. They were situated on 2 hills. One day, David came to the Israelite camp with food from home for his brothers in the army. Remember, the Israelites metaphysically represent illuminated thoughts. Okay? And the Philistines represents forces foreign to spirit that are opposed to truth. Okay? So really, that's the battle. I just want to make that clear. Isn't that interesting? Okay. When he arrived, he heard Goliath challenging any Israelite to come out and fight him. All the soldiers were reluctant to take up the challenge. Goliath was a giant man. According to the story, he was 9.5 feet tall and loaded with heavy armor. I'd be a little intimidated too. I don't know about you, you know. He appeared, as his appearance and challenge struck terror in the Israelite soldiers. When David saw their fear, he was amazed and horrified. David had a simple faith and trust in God. How much is our faith? How much is our trust in God? He believed that with the Lord on his side, he could defeat any challenge. Do we believe we can defeat any challenge? Yes. But do we act in faith, simple faith and trust in God, really believing that God's got this and God's going to do it through me? Because this is really basically the belief of this young boy. He wasn't even a man. He was a young man, a young boy. He believed that Israel could not be defeated since the Lord was on his side of Israel, and he was therefore quite surprised to see the negative reactions of the soldier in the Lord's army. David was quick to take up the challenge of fighting the giant. Faith of a child, right? Faith of the innocent. The other soldiers thought it was ridiculous that a scrawny kid would even think of fighting a giant, but they took him to Saul to get his permission. At first, Saul was very reluctant, but David convinced him because David talked to him about how he was a shepherd and he fought off, bears and other wild animals while taking care of the flock. Saul finally consented. He even offered David his armor, but David said it's too heavy. I can't do it with this armor, so he denied his armor. So David went to meet the giant with a slingshot. On the way, he picked up 5 smooth stones from a riverbed. When Goliath saw David coming to meet him, he was flabbergasted. Can you imagine this 9.5-foot giant looking at this young kid going, what? What? Are you kidding me? Right? The giant said, am I a dog that you've come to me with sticks? He cursed David and laughed at him. He thought he would have a ridiculously easy fight in taking care of David. He further said to David, come to me and I will give your flesh to the birds of the air and to the beasts of the fields. Goliath's sarcasm, threats did not scare David. Do you know sarcasm also means the tearing of flesh? Isn't it? Yeah. I used to be a very sarcastic person when until I found out what it meant, because it really gets to the core of you, doesn't it? The tearing of flesh, yeah. David said to the giant, you come to me with a sword and a spear with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of armies of Israel, whom you have defied. David even went further and said to the giant, this day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I will strike you down and cut off your head. That's pretty powerful. This little kid's going to cut off this giant's head. Wow. Goliath probably laughed at this outburst of confidence. He did not think David had a chance with him. They came together for the battle. David took a stone and put it in his sling, and he slung the stone at the giant, hitting him on the forehead, right here. And what's right there? What power is right here? Our third eye, it's our power of imagination. Right? So when we go to battles in our life, or we're walking through fears in our life, is it not our fear, what we're imagining? Our imagination increases our fear because we're seeing the worst, or we're assuming the worst. Well, needless to say, he took the giant out. One stone, one shot, bang. He was down. He was gone. And he ran to him and with his sword and cut his head off. That's a pretty powerful story. And when the Philistines saw what happened to Goliath, they panicked and fled. I would have too if I was them, wouldn't you? My God, this kid's powerful beyond measure. And you know what? So are we. You know, the Bible describes him as a simple faith and trust. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I get all wrapped up around the axle about something, you know, and the what ifs, or I should have, or I could have, and what are they thinking, and all this kind of stuff that goes, the gymnastics, the negative gymnastics that goes on in our brains. Then we start imagining this stuff, which gives it more power. David stood firm in his faith. He stood firm in his belief in God. David stood and said, basically, God, here I am, use me to help my family, the Israelites. And this is the Israelites, the new thoughts. The illuminated thoughts of God are trying to get out again and be expressed. And there's the ego, the giant, who is scaring. Doesn't your ego scare you sometimes? Really, if we stop to think about it, isn't it pretty scary? That we think we know everything, we know what's better for the other person. You know, that we, yeah. And look, like when we're going through challenges in our life, what about a severe loss of someone that you dearly love in your life? What about relationships? You know, God, we're all terrorized, you know, when we're in a relationship and we broke up. It almost paralyzes us that we can't do anything. That's what fear does. It paralyzes us. And we get caught in it and we get stuck in it. And I learned something new this week. That my feelings and my emotions, you know what? They're not facts. I've known that. They're just feelings. They're not facts. But somebody said when you're getting upset about something, that I need to ask these feelings, what's the lesson here? What's the lesson here? Yeah. What is it that I need to learn from this situation? What is it that I need to learn from all these feelings? I can't change the other person. David couldn't change Goliath. Our ego keeps us in bondage. It paralyzes us. It numbs us out. I'm sure all of you have had some of these feelings. Am I right? Right? Okay, I just want to make sure. You know, anxiety, a sense of loss. It's crazy, but David, he was a godly young man. And maybe we need to ask ourselves the question, what fearful experience took away from our faith? What experiences took away from my faith? Your faith. Because we have to look at that if we want to heal. We have to look at that if we want to open ourselves up to greater opportunities in life. The meaning of the story is that on a higher level of consciousness, if we keep going back to our faith and we keep returning back to the truth that we know will set us free from all that negative bondage, this is really the meaning of the story. David, all those soldiers were intimidated. Who intimidates you in your life? What intimidates you in life? Is that not the giant? What is our giants, folks? Sometimes I just don't even have the energy sometimes to fight anymore with people. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just, you go, oh God, this is not worth it. I really want to win the war with myself. I don't really want to be winning these battles with other people. It's not that important. It's our perception of what is happening out here in the outer world that we make into giants. And look at our political arena. Aren't they making giants out of a whole bunch of stuff? Whether it's in the United States or, other countries. And Mother Nature, she's really trying to cleanse and purify. We got a lot of rains and we got a lot of tornadoes. She's trying to put herself back into balance. And having and waking up our consciousness. A giant in our life is a misconception in our minds. Remember the word fear? It stands for false evidence appearing real. And there's times, I don't know about you, and you go, I'm looking at this and I know what I'm feeling and I know it's not the truth. I just know it's not the truth. And I really feel that this is why breathing is so important. We have to breathe in and breathe out so our body can begin to relax and to let go. It's about us standing in the firm foundation that I am not going to let you take the best of me. The best of me is going to come forward, and I am going to slay this, I was going to say dragon, that too, this giant. Whatever you want to call it. What's the giant in your mind that's preventing you from doing greater things in your life, about you being greater in your life? Why are we so shy of standing in our greatness? Richard Billings, he must be here today because I hear him remember in one sermon what he said. Stop asking yourself what's wrong with you and start asking yourself what is right with you. Isn't that going to take you back to your God core if you start thinking about what's right with me? I have the presence of God within me. There's nothing greater than this presence of God that is within me. I can overcome anything in my life because the Christ in me is my hope of glory. The Christ in me is my hope of glory. David was not afraid to accept the challenge. And sometimes that's it. We have to accept the challenge. This is what's happening, and I know I can move through it. Through prayer, through meditation, through talking with people. Getting other people's thoughts and feelings and perceptions. It doesn't mean that they're all right, more right than you are, but it helps you to expand your mind. It helps you to expand your faith. And that's what we're here to do. And you know what? And I'm going to say this. Check out your previous religious belief systems that were programmed into you and into me. Some of that stuff blocks us from moving forward because we think we're so unworthy or, God doesn't favor me. God favors all of us. God favors all of us. We're all divine in the mind of God. God doesn't have favorites. If God had favorites, it would be all of us. But we got to stop. And, the Israelites, if we want to express more truth, we want to express more of the light of God that we are in our lives, we have to look at our fears. We have to look at that giant fear and just cut the head off. Because it's happening up here. Stop giving it so much power in our imagination, yours and mine. We got to say enough is enough. Because you know what? Nobody can make you happy. Happiness is an inside job. And remember that the battles that or the giants that we face in our lives, they're there to make us stronger. It's not a punishment. It really isn't. Our soul resume says you need to learn this lesson. Let's learn it and move on. Let's learn it and move on. And, there was something I learned in my 12-step program. We have two best friends in our mind and hearts. You know what they are? Justification and rationalization. We can make anything right, can't we? Even a negative thought, we can make it right. We can make it right. Oh, I deserve this, How can I justify this? Giants are giants. I've always called them dragons inside of me, because I do sometimes feel like this flame is coming out of my mouth, especially when I'm angry and I might be taking it out on loved ones, It's the dragon lady or the bar room lady. But we're in church. I called her the lady, barroom lady. She's not very pretty sometimes. She's not. And we all have somebody inside of us that's not too pretty. And we just have to go in there and cut the head off of the giant. And we don't have to be mean towards ourselves or towards other people. We don't have to be sarcastic. We don't always have to tell them what time of day it is. You know, just take it in, think on it. And one of the things I learned in life, if somebody gives you feedback, you know, or tells you something about yourself, analyze it. You know, take what might be true and just get rid of the rest. If there's parts that they might be saying might be true about you, then you need to look at that and see if that's really the truth about you. It does not take a lot of equipment in the outer to change our lives. It really doesn't. It does not take a lot of metaphysical formulas. All it takes is a simple faith and trust in God. You look at Jesus' teachings, they're all quite simple, but sometimes so difficult to either remember or to apply in our lives. Jesus gave us the biggest spiritual tool case we can possibly have. It's endless. There's no bottom to it. You open it up and all the spiritual tools are there. So don't forget, build your consciousness in the morning before you set forth, and know that if any dragons come in your way, any giants, 9.5 feet giants, if they come in your way, you can take care of it. You can take care of it when you commune, when you connect with your inner source and supply for everything, and that is your Christ self. And all of God's people say, Amen. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, everybody. I really enjoyed working on this lesson because, you know, it really made me think about a lot of different things that were going on in my life. And also, I just want to add one more thing. Remember when Moses was trying to free the Israelites? And he had to deal with the Pharaoh who was represented by the ego? See, it's worth fighting to have truth be set free in you. Yeah. We just got to remember that all the time. Together, this is our prosperity affirmation. And I just, you know, I can't thank you all enough for the continuous support of this church and this community. And so let us affirm for our new community and our present community right now. Together, the bounty of my mind is without hindrance or limit. Nothing can stand in the way of my inspired creativeness. The overflowing power of God, life energy, overcomes every obstacle, pours out into the world, blessing and prospering everyone and everything through me. I am blessed and I am encouraged. And so it is.
I'm not going to start with the chorus. I'm just going to start with the verse. Verse, chorus. Verse, chorus.
Thank you, honey.
When giants rise and shadows loom so tall, we can feel so small, like we can't stand it all. But we remember David, just a shepherd boy, with a heart of courage, he faced fear with joy. He didn't wear the armor, didn't hold a sword, but he had faith, trusted in the Lord. With faith like David, we can face the light. No matter how dark, we'll find the light. Goliath may come, modern world, troubles come our way. Bills and worries, trials every day. But just like David, we can stand our ground. Trust in God's power, then let His love abound. It's not by our strength, not by what we see, but by God's Spirit we find victory. Try it. With faith like David, we can face the fight. No matter how dark, we'll find the light. Goliath may come, but they will fall. With faith like David, we stand tall. With faith like David, we can face the fight. No matter how dark, we'll find the light. Goliath may come, but they will fall. With faith like David, we stand tall.
All right. Excellent. Did you write that?
Doug found it, and I
Doug.
learned it. I kind of learned it, but I learned it best
That's
I could.
excellent. I love it. It was so perfect. You know, all we
Thank
got to, sometimes, we just, all we got to do is show up for God and remind ourselves God's going to do this through me. God is going to do this through me. We have to have that attitude. We have to have that perception in life, Again, let's ask ourselves, where did we learn that I have to do everything myself? Some victim mother. God help us all. So anyways, I want to bless each and every one of you because I'm so grateful for you. And I know that God is very grateful to each and every one of you in so many different ways. And my biggest prayer to you, may you know how powerful you are as a spiritual being. That the spirit of you is always taking care of you. And that the Spirit is always there ready for you to ask so that you can receive. And the more that we turn within, the more we will know how strong our faith is. Amen. Thank you. All right. I'm sure it's Potluck Sunday. Heary. Monthly hands-on healing. Every third Sunday we have a group over here that would like on-hands healing, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual. You need something, no questions asked. What we do, the group of people that stand around you and put your hands on you or project to you is the divine energy of God pouring through them to pour on you so that you feel better in whatever way it may be. It's so important that we say, God, yes, I'm ready for a healing. I'm ready for a healing. And if you need it on the first, second, or third, or fourth Sunday, we can do it then too, okay? We just figure we start out with one Sunday a month and see how it works. And next week, it's a holiday, no refreshments, folks. Go out there, party hardy with the barbecues, okay? And I'm always available for prayer. You could just step out and call me or email me. I'll be more than happy to respond to you and be supportive of you in whatever way I can. And I guess that is it. Back to the Unity Ensemble.
This is the last week for the surveys.
Yes.
We're sending in, we're starting to dig through them. So if you didn't hand one in and you go, oof, we'll print you another copy.
Thank you,
but
Kathy.
You've got to be here before the last board member leaves.
Today.
To a ball game. So I'm
Today.
away.
You can give it to me or Diane or Susan or
Email them?
Joanne.
Handed them out last
We're all here, so you can get a copy of it, guys. We have extra copies. Kathy made some extra copies. It's really important, for us to hear what is really important to you in our new location. It's your church. It's your spiritual home. It's your spiritual community. And I text some people and I said, hey, you always got suggestions for the church. There's a survey. Come on down this Sunday. And you know what? They appeared. Because they got something to say. It's your church, and we're very grateful. We want to do what you want to do. Okay? Amen. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy.
Got you back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, everybody, please stand and let's sing.
Start with the refrain, okay. We'll get them singing right away, because just time-wise. Here we go, everybody. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord. Let's sing the refrain again. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God touches us. Yeah. Chorus. With faith like David, we can face the light. No matter how dark, we'll find the light. Goliath may come, but they will fall. With faith like David, we stand tall. Do your fancy guitar playing.